bunch. So, all right, to start up, as you can see, this is a splash screen or a loading screen before we navigate to the home screen, which is just a minor addition. So one of the core requirements was displaying a home screen which has the map view and has a few markers and pins on it, which says that it says that it will fetch all those mock um, API that has been provided with the instructions as well. And as you can see, I've just added a search bar over here, which is it doesn't have any function, but just also a minor addition to make the UI more like a real world production release app. So I have like um, in exported out or like displayed I think 7 pins or markers in here, which is representing the motorcycle icons. And the orange icon here, it represents my current location, which is also included with the instruction or core requirements. And this blue colored icons or pins are the um, available like um, ride request that you can accept or book. The other ones are either picked up or declined, and I think I have one that is dropped off. So, and also yeah, there's also accepted, and I think there's also started. I'm not sure if it's here. So yeah, moving on. I So this is the basically the home screen, and moving on. Whenever I added a functionality that whenever I click on the whenever I'm holding the cursor in the iOS simulator, it's just gonna display the like note over here with the status, which is pending. Whenever I click on the blue icon, I am navigated to the second screen, which is one of the core requirements, which is the ride request details screen. And over here, I have actually hidden the status bar for the native iOS, and just created a custom header for this one, which shows a back arrow and the header title, and then we have this note in here. And also I displayed the necessary information, which is the ride number, passenger, the name of the passenger, the status, which is pending, and then pickup address, and then the destination. So for the mock API, what was included in there was the longitude and the latitude of the pin. So in order for this coding assessment, I made it user friendly. So I just created a mock address for the pickup destination. Just just to show the actual address if it were to be in a production environment. So the core functions for this app is to accept, is to have the function to accept and decline a ride request. So for this one, since this is pending, we the accept booking is enabled, and whenever it's picked up or accepted or the request has already been started or dropped off, the accept booking cannot be clicked. So that's one of the logic I implemented in the code. So uh, whenever I go ahead and click accept, there's a all right. I think there's an issue with the UI, but yeah. All right. So this pop up is gonna show up whenever I click on the accept booking, and you have two buttons in here. And in my own opinion, I included the decline button over here, which is I took the logic or copied the logic from um, Grab Grab app. So ideally, the decline should be like on the main screen or ride detail screen. But in here, we have we have the ability to decline or to go to the map, to just to trace where the destination is gonna be. So yeah, whenever I click on the map, as you can see, uh, the blue icon turned to red, and the statuses will change to accepted since I click on the accept booking. And whenever I go back to that one, to the icon again, the status in here gets changed, and you cannot. I mean, the button is already disabled. So um, yeah, I did all the state management using Redux, and I think I had. I'm gonna show it to you where I did those. Um, the change on this one. So yeah, for the decline, we need to go look for another pending, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on this one. So for the decline, whenever I try to accept booking, and I've had some like last minute changes for me to decline the booking, and just have somebody else take it or accept the booking. Whenever I click on decline, which is the red one, and the status gets changed to declined, and whenever we go back to the home menu, the icon turns to red as well. Color It's called red, and then the status is displaying declined as well. So that's how I that's how I created the logic for the for the flow of this app. So I think there you go. Yeah. So this is home screen, current location, and then I don't know why I did that. Yeah, I think it's a bug. So yeah, for the rider details. So there you go. It's showing the accept booking being disabled, and the status as well, and all the details for the ride request. And then whenever there's a pending, it's going to show a blue color. Whenever you click on that one, then you can have the ability to click on the button to accept it, and then you can decline it by clicking on the decline from the pop-up screen. So yeah, that's basically the flow, like the entire flow of the simplified ride sharing app. So yeah, moving on. Here's my IDE, and in my personal opinion, this is what I used. Based on my own judgment, and this is where I'm comfortable to use the TechStack. I actually used Expo-CLI for this um, coding assessment, and you can see here the different folders I have created. For me, this is how I scaffold the project structure to, you know, so as you can see, there's a screen folder, a Redux folder for the state management navigation. This is where the root directories are installed, or yeah, go. So we have, yeah, basically you can see that there's no header in here. So here's where I put all the options to show the to put on the condition for the header shown as false as well. So those header goes for both of them of the screens. And for the components, I created a custom button in here in which it can be reusable, and I actually reused it in the details ride request detail screen, and as well as the modal or the pop-up. So I just passed in them using props in here, and the structuring it for it to be able to pass down as props. And yeah, um, moving on. Yeah, the assets is just the for the splash screen. And the reason why I used Expo-CLI is I used the minimal setup or template, which already has the Android folder and the iOS folder as well, where we can use native code for for the different platforms. And yeah, I think um, for the styling, I created a different file for this one. So before I was all of these styles were into a single file, which is basically where the main component is. So it's really like long to read. So in order to have an organized like code structure, I created a separate file for the styles as well as for the yeah, this is for the home screen, and this is for the details screen. So as you can see, it's really kind of long to read, so it's ideal to separate that one. So yeah, I think that would be it for the styling. Moving forward, we go to Redux. So for the Redux, I had created as per the requirements. So implement Redux actions, reducers, and selectors to manage driver location nearby, ride request, and status. So, all right. Yeah, for the actions, I have created 3 actions for this one. So set ride request is all the nearby requests that are displaying the marker and the pins in here. And for the update ride request, it's passing the two parameters, which is the request ID, which is representing the unique ID of each marker. And then the new status, this is where the update status comes in whenever the change is clicked in the UI. That goes for the accepting the booking and changing the status to accepted or declined. So this is where it goes. And yeah, it's this is where I implemented the logic and the Redux. Redux state. So the third action is actually the pin for the current location, and yeah, I just passed in the location props, and yeah, the payload, and then yeah, the type. So types, and yeah, I was gonna use this one, but I just commented this out to make it things a bit simpler. So yeah, moving on. For the reducers, this is the combined reducers, and as you can see, this is where I implemented the driver reducer. It actually has to be in here, so I separated this one since the name of the file is ride request. So I think it wouldn't make any sense. So I think I'm just gonna comment this out. So I included the yeah. So as you can see, the fallback mechanism, or I think this is an error. This was an error in the home screen. So I think I'm gonna like oh, all right, there you go. All right, so moving on. Yeah, driver reducer is this is where I used a mock um, like address or coordinates for me to show the marker, which is colored orange, and then this is what I used for the selector, and this is the selector that I imported into the home screen. So yeah, select driver location from driver selector, and then uh, in the I think yeah, in the marker it says here the coordinate. I used it dynamically by um, calling the driver location, then the latitude, and then the longitude, and then down below this is where I passed in the from the Redux store down to the home screen component, and then I used the connect to pass in the state for the ride set ride request from the Redux store down to the home screen. And yeah, I basically I used the map state props to access all those states and have it passed down to the home screen. So the same goes for the ride request detail screen. It's what I did as well. I used connect from React Redux, and this is where I also used the map state to props to 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 connect all those state from the action, and then down to the reducer, so it gets passed on to the request detail screen. So in this way, actually for this, I was gonna use context, but for the coding assessment, Redux was the ideal state management to use for a better code readability, and yeah, better code structure as well, and it's easy to trace all those state management, all those states. So basically, when it just get passed on, and we can destructure it over here inside as parameters and the screens. So yeah, I think that would be for Redux. Moving on, I guess the next would be home screen. So in the home screen, I actually created just for this demo, I created a try catch block to demo on the on handling errors for this one. So as you can see, I implemented the try catch block into the use effect. So for this one, I just used the await. Yeah, I used promise, calling in the result and the reject parameters. So for result, I just called in the dummy ride request, which is coming from the mock API, which was provided. And then for the reject, it's just gonna show in um, the message, which is failed to fetch ride request. And then after that, we call the set ride request response, which is coming from the Redux store. And then for the error, when there's an error, we catch it and display the error message. So, and we actually used an alert to display those whenever where an error comes in and fetching the API. So for the fallback mechanism, which I demoed a while back, so this is where it comes in. I just created a simple ternary or operator or a condition over here, and yeah, it's just showing no nearby ride request found. But in real world, right, production release, I might have added a instruction here to, just to try again or restart the app, to guide the users on what to do next whenever you get this error message. So yeah, lastly, for the features or ideas that I was actually thinking on adding in the app, I was actually gonna add a polyline whenever we after we accept the booking. So it was, it was really nice to demo that one, but I believe I have it's gonna take much longer to complete the coding or the coding assessment to when if ever I included that one. But it would be really a nice feature if I have added that one.